Hey, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that comes up a lot when people are shopping for a car but often isn't fully understood. Flexible fuel vehicles, also known as FFVs or flex fuel vehicles. What are they exactly? How do they work? Are they worth buying? And what do they actually cost to own and operate? We're going to answer all of that today in a clear, straightforward way. Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a flexible fuel vehicle? An FFV is a car, SUV, or truck that can run on either regular gasoline or a gasoline ethanol blend containing up to 85% ethanol. That fuel blend is most commonly referred to as E85, where the number simply indicates the maximum percentage of ethanol in the mix. You might also see E15 or E10 at certain pumps, which contain lower percentages of ethanol. The U.S. Department of Energy technically defines E85 as a blend containing between 51% and 83% ethanol, so the actual ethanol content can vary depending on the time of year and the region. But the key point is that FFVs are designed to handle the full range of these blends, all the way from pure gasoline to high ethanol mixes. Now let's talk about how these vehicles actually work. The concept of a flex fuel vehicle is actually older than most people realize. Henry Ford built the first one, the 1908 Model T, which could run on either gasoline or ethanol. But it wasn't until 1994 that the first mass-produced FFV hit the market, with the Ford Taurus E85. That vehicle could run on gasoline or ethanol blends and had a computer system capable of distinguishing between fuel types to optimize performance. Today, there are millions of FFVs on the road. According to the Renewable Fuels Association, there were more than 24 million in the United States as of 2018, spanning a wide range of makes and models. From the outside, an FFV looks exactly like a regular gasoline-powered vehicle. The only visual clues are usually a yellow gas cap or fuel filler ring, an E85 label on the fuel door, or a badge on the body of the car that says Flex Fuel or FFV. Otherwise, they look and drive identically to their conventional counterparts. Same acceleration, same power, same payload capacity, same cruise speed. The difference is internal. The fuel system and related components are specially designed to handle both pure gasoline and high ethanol blends without damage. The engine management system automatically adjusts to whatever blend is in the tank. Now let's go through the pros and cons, because like any vehicle type, there are genuine advantages and real trade-offs. Starting with the advantages, the first and most obvious is fuel flexibility. As the name implies, you get to choose your fuel based on what makes sense at any given time. If E85 is cheaper at the pump in your area, you can fill up with that and potentially save money. If E85 isn't available where you are, you simply use regular gasoline. You're never stranded because of your fuel type. The second advantage is cleaner emissions. Ethanol is a renewable fuel. It's made from corn or sugarcane, and it burns cleaner than traditional gasoline. Running on an ethanol blend reduces greenhouse gas emissions compared to running on pure gasoline. For drivers who are environmentally conscious, this is a meaningful benefit. The third advantage is reduced dependence on foreign oil. Ethanol is domestically produced, which means using it supports American farmers and reduces the country's reliance on imported energy. It's a national energy security benefit as well as an economic one at the local level. Now let's look at the downsides. The most significant one is fuel economy. Ethanol contains less usable energy per gallon than gasoline does. When you run an FFV on E85, you can expect a fuel efficiency drop of roughly 15% to 27% compared to running on regular gasoline. In practical terms, that means more frequent trips to the gas station and potentially more money spent per mile traveled, depending on the price difference between E85 and regular gas. The second drawback is availability. E85 is sold at more than 2,500 stations across the United States, but it's far from ubiquitous. Depending on where you live, your nearest E85 pump might be inconvenient or simply not close by. If you can't easily access E85, you'll be running your FFV on regular gasoline most of the time, which means you won't be capturing the environmental or potential cost benefits. The third drawback is that FFVs are not eligible for federal tax credits. The IRS currently only offers tax credits for qualified plug-in electric vehicles. If tax incentives are part of your decision making around a vehicle purchase, a flex fuel vehicle won't help you there. Let's talk about the cost side of things because this is where a lot of people want to see real numbers. The good news is that an FFV typically doesn't cost more upfront than a comparable conventional vehicle. You can find flex fuel options across a wide range of vehicles, from family sedans to SUVs to trucks, at price points that compete directly with their gasoline only counterparts. The flex fuel capability is essentially built in at no meaningful premium. Where the cost math gets more interesting is at the fuel pump. E85 tends to be cheaper per gallon than regular gasoline. But because ethanol is less energy dense, you use more of it to travel the same distance. So cheaper per gallon doesn't automatically mean cheaper per mile. Here's how to think about it practically. If you estimate you'll lose about 25% of your fuel efficiency running on E85 and regular gasoline is priced at $2.50 a gallon, then E85 only makes financial sense if it's priced at roughly $1.88 per gallon or less. The break-even math will shift based on current fuel prices in your area, so it's worth doing the calculation for your specific situation rather than assuming one fuel type is always the better deal. Tools like fueleconomy.gov offer fuel cost comparisons specifically for FFVs that can help you run these numbers. One more thing worth noting: choosing an FFV won't meaningfully affect your car insurance premium. Your insurance cost is driven primarily by the type of vehicle itself, your driving history, and other standard factors. Whether the engine runs on gasoline, ethanol, or a blend generally doesn't change the rate you pay. Let's recap everything. A flexible fuel vehicle can run on regular gasoline or a gasoline ethanol blend of up to 85% ethanol. FFVs look and perform essentially the same as conventional vehicles and typically don't cost more to purchase. The advantages include fuel flexibility, cleaner emissions, and reduced dependence on foreign oil. The trade-offs are lower fuel economy on ethanol blends, limited availability of E85 depending on where you live, and no federal tax credit eligibility. Whether an FFV makes sense for you comes down to a few practical questions. Is E85 readily available near where you live? When you run the per-mile cost math, does the lower price per gallon of E85 offset the reduced fuel efficiency? And does the environmental benefit factor into your purchasing decision? If the answers line up, an FFV is a genuinely practical and flexible option. If E85 isn't available near you, the flex fuel capability becomes less relevant and the decision comes down to other factors like the vehicle itself. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more clear, practical content on making smart decisions around cars, budgeting, and personal finance. Drop any questions in the comments. I'd love to help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.